Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and actually another sneak peek video. So after yesterday having like small Q&A style about the first sneak peek because it was just so much, today we have the next sneak peek, and that's right, we have another workshop level. And that means, right, another siege machine. So what I will tell you guys today in today's video is going to be how you can use the new siege machine, what actually the siege machine doing, the log launcher, and why it's actually good. So let's get into it. The first thing is quite important, which is the health. So it has quite decent health, but I think I would just show it to you in a bit of action. That's a bit easier. So once again, kind of similar to the RAM, it's always going for the town hall. Kind of the same as the blimp and the RAM as the ground version. And now you might ask, Itsu, what is the difference, kinda? The first thing is kinda obvious, right? Like, the log launcher is launching logs, like, that's what the name already says. But what are those logs doing? Why are they good? And why is this thing even losing HP? Like, how could you use that? Like, why would you use that? A siege machine which is losing health, and a RAM which looks way better than that. So, let me explain to you guys why actually this siege machine is pretty good, and how you can use it. So first things first is it's losing HP. Yes, that's right. But it's dealing so much damage with their logs to actually buildings, to walls, to everything. And just take a look. It looks so funny with those logs rolling and killing every single wall. So that's already pretty cool. And now the next thing is you can really easily and nicely kind of calculate attacks with taking down certain buildings. But obviously, those logs do not travel forever. They have a certain distance, which I think is 25 tiles. And the next thing which is important is the log launcher can only hit 4 buildings. A building does not mean a wall. A wall is on a building. So it hits, for example, for our test over here, it hits the clan castle, the army camp, the builder hut, and then the barracks. As soon as the builder hut is down, it hits the town hall. Then obviously it activates the town hall as well. But you see as well, it deals quite good damage. But now the question is, Itsu, when actually is this siege machine better than the RAM? Because, to be honest, they look kind of similar. But, to be honest as well, they're completely different. So, that's the first base which you want to take a look at. And since, well, Zeb Lalo is dead, you can still do different things. You can still do normal Lalo. And this siege machine is perfect for that. So first, let's place it in the corner and make sure that it's rolling towards the town hall. First, which means basically, okay, those logs will make it to the town hall, will take down the town, or like not take down the town, but will take damage to the town hall. And this means you can place the Royal Champ, you can use the Royal Champ ability, and this most of the time takes down the town hall. This is a pretty easy and cheap way to take that down, and consider that we have not used, except an earthquake and a poison, not used any spells for this. Now the clan cast is coming out, we take down with the poison, and now the couple of Yetis are doing their thing. We're adding our other 2 heroes, which is King and Queen, because we still have those, right? We didn't have to use them. And now, I don't know why I added the Super Valkyrie over there. I thought it would be kind of nice. In the end, it wasn't the most powerful thing. Okay, I have to agree on that. I just thought it would be nice. And now the push into the single front tower compartment. We're going through there. I'm using one of the skeleton spells because that's the normal spell combination for any Sui Lalo attacks, for example. You can always bring like 2 skeletons, which you can use kind of flexible. So, for example, to take down enemy heroes, to tank for your heroes in the Sui, different things which you can do. Now, my queen is going to take down the scatter, and this attack is looking already great. So, to summarize this, and yes, I will show you guys the end of the attack still, but to summarize the beginning and the first use case of the log launcher is you can snipe buildings because the logs are dealing so much damage. But you have to be careful with angling the log launcher correctly, because it can only hit 4 targets, and then the log is kind of like getting destroyed. So you need to make sure that the buildings which you want to get hit are in reach of those 4 buildings, and in addition to that, are in reach of 25 tiles. Otherwise, it's really great to take down the town hall, inferno towers, eagle, scattershot, things like that. It's great for that, and obviously great for other things as well, which we're going to come in a second, because obviously this Sui version is not the fit for everyone, right? Like, not everyone is this crazy Sui mastermind. Me neither. I have to say, me neither. It was kind of nice that I got this for the recording. But now let's get into something more spammy. I know it's spammy, and I know not everyone loves it. But to be honest, this is one of the use cases. Deal with it. That's how it is. And I will combine this with witches because I think witches are still really powerful. Even though a lot of people are complaining about the lightnings, witches are still strong without them. The first thing is, like I said, you need to make sure you angle the lock launcher correctly. I want to get rid of this wall section over there to open up the entire base. And this is where the lock launcher is just so much better than the RAM, because the RAM is really limited on how you can use it because it's always going for the town hall and then it's dead. With the lock launcher, you can get rid of way more walls, especially if you angle it correctly. So starting off this attack, I'm using the Warden Walk to get rid of the Inferno Tower. It's a little bit stupid with the angle, with the Arch Tower going down, so I have to use 2 loons to kind of tank for my Warden, which I'm doing, or like 1 loon to tank for my Warden, so I do not have to invest another freeze. Then I'm waiting for the elephants going down, otherwise the elephants would kill all of my healers. And then I'm getting started with my King Funnel, with my witches, with my Ice Golem. One thing which you always need to remember, you need to protect the lock launcher. The lock launcher is losing HP on its own already, so if it's taking damage, it's even faster going down, obviously. So you really need to protect that. The next thing, obviously, the locks are rolling into the base and should get us a really nice pathing for our witches into the base, which is saving us an entire spell. So this would not have been possible with any other siege machine. So the core is open, we have the compartment open to the scatter shot. My own witches, my funnel and my witches are not the best, so I have to use the jump over there. So this attack is already not going how it could go, but still it's looking good because we still have plenty of spells because we did not have to invest 2 jumps because, well, we had the lock launcher, and now, obviously, the Royal Champion. I'm always bringing 1 invisible spell at the moment because it's just so strong for those Yeti witch attacks for the back end. And this attack is looking great, even though the beginning didn't went as planned with the witches going to the wrong side. But we still have so many witches left, we still have the healers left, and this attack is looking great. I'm used the Ice Golem for tanking the back end to have less damage on my Royal Champion, which so far as well is working great for me. And, well, now just the Royal Champ doing her thing, kinda. And one more question which you guys had for the invisible spell. What happens if you use it on the last building? Since we don't need the invisible spell on this attack because it's just an overkilling attack at this point, we are going to use the invisible spell on the last building and see what happens, okay? Because this was actually one of the most common questions after yesterday's video. So let's see. I'm using it on the army camp, the build hut is getting destroyed, and my troops are doing nothing and waiting for the invisible spell to end. So, yeah, you can now force your own into 99% attacks. That's great news. So you should not swag the invisible spell onto a building which is still existing. That's not the best thing. But now let's get into the next. And that's, once again, you have to use the log launcher most of the time, kind of strategic. And you need to somehow use the logs. Otherwise, it's not better than the RAM. Then the RAM is doing a better job. But on this one, take a look at what I did with the log launcher. I used the Supergiant to tank. Now I took down with the log launcher a cannon, an air defense, most of the HP of the Eagle, and now my Yetis are just going over to my heroes and tanking for them. This is an insane Sui. And just because I can, I guess, I'm using E-Dragons after that because it looks kind of cool. But we could have basically done after this entry everything. Like, I think I could have even done Barge or something like that. But that's a different story. Attack is looking great. Yeti mites are going over. They should get rid of the sweeper, which is forcing my queen into the town direction. So we maybe even get the town hall down. So that's another great thing. And well, just Log Launcher is an incredible strong siege machine. I think it's really underrated. Maybe because I already kind of heard a lot of opinions about the Log Launcher from a couple of the other YouTubers, and I think it's actually really strong. I think it's really, really viable. I think there are many possibilities on how we can use that, and especially with those strategic attacks, but at the same time, spammy ways as well. Don't get me wrong, this siege machine is not only for strategic attacks. It's really strong in them, but it's not only for them. Because, like I said, in those witch attacks, you can get rid of the entire base, basically, with those logs. and especially out of the walls, which is crazy for your witches because it's saving so many spells, as I showed you guys one attack ago. So this attack, like I said, is already doom and dusted. We have still loons for the back end. I'm just using my rages because I can. Once again, I'm having 6 loons for the back end, just using them to get rid of the single and the air defense, and that's another triple. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me guys know what you would use the lock launcher for. Which armies? Where would you use it? And would you use it, or do you think the ram is still stronger? Because in my opinion, it is not, but let me guys, what do you think? That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys back, hopefully, for the next video tomorrow. Until then, see ya, and bye-bye.